Monday's pretty easy. She's got one phone.
He's a dog.
No. It was my grandmother. Sorry. You guys eat all of it.
Time and all of our regular town council meeting Monday, December 3rd, 2018 at 7:30 shall commence. Please stand for our prayer and pledge.
As we bow our heads to pray, may each of us thank our Creator for the privilege of living in and serving our community. We ask for wisdom and guidance in any and all decisions. We also ask for the protection of the members of our armed forces, pray for their safe return, and give strength to their loved ones. These we ask in the name.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Council Chair Mayor Patrick T. Riley.
Here.
Vice Chair Steve Rivet.
Here.
Council members Grant Ball.
Here.
Brian Bale.
Here.
Dick Horn is
Excused.
Danny White.
Here.
Steve Rivet.
Here.
Town Administrator Matt Stinnett.
Here.
Town Attorney Carl Bone. I'm the Town Clerk Treasurer Debbie Franklin.
Is there any additions or deletions or changes to the agenda? Entertain a motion for the approval of the regular town council meeting minutes of November 19, 2018.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried 4-0. All right, moved on to the attorney's report. No report.
No report. Mine is community.
Move on to the sheriff's report.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
How are you all tonight?
Right, so, these are the statistics for October, because November is not coming yet, which hopefully will within about a week. And I believe all of them were emailed them, I'm hoping. But the major consensus is we had about 12 911 hang-ups, we had 6 alarm residents, 3 business alarms, 2 battery calls for service. We had a total of 16 crashes, but as we know, that kind of encompasses almost to the interstate. 1 hit and run, a criminal mischief. We had 11 disturbances, 4 frauds, which about this time of year we're going to see an increase if we're not too careful of those. 17 reckless driving. Let's see. 2 thefts, 10 traffic enforcement, 35 traffic stops, 2 warrant persons, and that was a total of 195 calls for service. Yes, and it's probably going to keep getting busier until after the new year, unfortunately. So.
Is that a lot for reckless driving? It seems odd.
It is for this particular area. It is a little bit higher than usual, but all of these statistics pretty much go up around this time of year, unfortunately. Our call loads go up. People are more call are now calling. Thanksgiving. I'm sure that when we see next month with Thanksgiving, things move up from there, and family just doesn't always get along too well. And that's all I've got.
Okay.
Thank you very much, appreciate it.
Very much.
All right, we move on to Trail and Greenways Committee.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of council. Drew Thompson with the Trails and Greenways Committee. Just to basically give you a real quick report, got just a few things to say, nothing to show you, nothing to talk real slow about or have to point out or reload machines or anything. So hopefully you're not disappointed, but we are still moving along. We just don't have anything tangible to kind of show real quick right at the moment. But we do have a new member to our group, and his name is Gregory D'Amico. He's joining the Trails and Greenways Committee, so he's a young individual from Malabar. We look forward to working with him, so we welcome him aboard. We want to officially acknowledge that he's joined our group, and we look forward to serving with him there. We're continuing to work on the site plan for the ENT, also known as the Eagles Nest Trailhead on Marie Street. And in that mode, we also want to put up some signs to kind of designate the South Brevard linear trail along Marie. And I think Bob Wilbur has done some mowing along that trail as well. So we're trying to make sure people know where it is and get a little bit of signature along there. So we'll be looking at some signage in that case. And in that same note along Marie, I know this is I guess this is the first opportunity I've had to speak in a presentation of what the committee is doing as far as to the town council. But in October on the 8th, when we had our monthly meeting, we discussed the concern of the Trails and Greenways Committee. We discussed plans, and this is a P&Z thing, but it also goes back to being a town issue in that it is really has to do with really the ongoing long-term plan for town of Malabar's development. And as you know, in September 14th, we were up in Titusville, and we basically came home, fortunately with this, not with this plaque, but with the designation, the plaque followed. But we were basically a trail town, and part of us getting to be a trail town, we kind of said, hey, we're gonna develop our downtown area because we want to be a trail town. We think being a trail town is more about trails than coffee shops already established, the signs hanging over cement. That we will use our trails with wooded paths and the various features we have and kind of get back to building our town from that. So we kind of challenged them to consider a different type of trail town. That's sort of how we got our designation. But on that behalf, the community, we talked and we actually made a motion. And I thought it was appropriate to formally express that motion because it was designated to present to the town council. And that motion was essentially, it's not, I'm reading you a draft version with some things that have yet to be determined as the official, but please give me consideration on that. We want to express that T&G is not in favor of a recent proposal to change the zoning in the southeast corner of Marie Street, Malabar Road, and from RLC to CG. And our reasons for that, this, again, I'm sort of talking and reading at the same point, but our opposition is essentially because the size of a CG building tends to be more of an industrial park kind of setting. And the long-term plan for Malabar designates this as our downtown. This is it. I think there's no matter how you look at our plan, this is kind of our downtown area. And again, I apologize for kind of talking beyond the motion. But the motion basically said we don't support that for that purpose. You know, essentially that's really it. We said we want to be a trail town. You know, we fought for that on that behalf. We had blessing of council, for the prior council. But we kind of went with nobody really feeling that Malabar didn't want to be a rural residential place with a nice downtown with smaller shops. And we're just concerned, and we felt it was appropriate, our fiduciary responsibility in looking at the trail plan for the town of Malabar, long-term South Brevard plan, how we all hook together. This is kind of a key decision that faces the town. We want to just voice that it was a unanimous recommendation by our committee that be, not to do that, to maintain the zoning as it is, or we jeopardize our long-term plan. We jeopardize the rural residential part. So I appreciate you allowing me to kind of talk instead of just read it. But that's basically it. We just wanted you all to know we're worried that if this goes that direction, we're going to lose the main idea. So thank you.
Thanks, Drew.
Thank you. Park and Rec Board? Okay. Planning and zoning? All right, move on to staff reports. Okay.
Sure, I got a meeting with St. John's Wednesday to discuss what we are capable of doing, essentially as far as cleaning out Fern Creek, the Stillwater area. Hoping to kind of get some real solid game plan put together for that area. Obviously, we got our workshop coming up, and have a little bit of a request from each of you, and that's to kind of bring a list of your priorities for your specific districts. We all know we have the major issues and areas that we want to talk about, but it would be helpful to kind of get extra set of hands, boots on the ground, talk to your constituents, and bring all of this to me for that workshop, so that we can kind of represent each district and get a big game plan together. We're hoping to go live with our redesigned website this month, so a little Christmas present on that. I did go and take a look at Elaine, and I do have kind of a game plan in place for that we'll bring up again at the workshop. That's all I have.
Questions? Thank you. All right, move on to Tom.
Good evening. I don't have too much to report tonight. We're still making good progress on the whole project. It's going pretty well. We're getting all the right-of-ways done, finished up, and we'll be working on the road grading and all the citizen contacts for the roads. That's pretty much it. Anybody got any questions?
Quick question. Where would you say our progress over on Hall Road is? Would you say we're a third of the way through? or-
Yeah, about a third on the whole side, yeah.
I just wanted to say the mowing on Hall looks good. That
Thanks.
was pretty shaggy and it looks much better. Thanks.
Yeah. Are you going to come to the workshop on
So, yeah,
Tuesday?
yeah. That's the 11th, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Debbie, you got anything?
Yes, I do. Tree lighting is this Wednesday at 6 p.m. in front of the fire station.
Stay here for a second.
Mayor will put the lights on our official Christmas tree, and Santa will come on the back of the fire truck and take photos with all the little kids. We'll have cookies and warm cider. And then on December 14th, we'll have a holiday open house here at Town Hall, if anyone would like to stop in. We're inviting the boards, council, and the residents. That's all I have.
Any questions? Okay, thank you. All right, the fire chief's excused. We have no public comments, so we'll move down to action item, request for a temporary trailer permit during home construction at 2040 Oak Ridge Lane. Is the applicant here? Yeah, please come up to the podium, state your name and address, and what you're planning to do. Thank you.
My name's Jamie McAlay. We live in Palm Bay right now, but we're trying to live out in Oak Ridge Lane. We bought the property 12 years ago, just when everything fell apart, and now we didn't get a chance to build a house. We managed to hang on to it, and we're ready to roll, man. We got it blocked up, trusses are coming. We just don't want to rent a house. We want to live on the property so we can work, be right there every night and get things done, because once it's trusses are on, I'm building myself. My windows, my doors, I'm drywall man, my wife's cabinets, you know, we do paint and trim, so, and I think we'll be in there by May. I think it'll be good. There's 2 campers, me, my wife, my son, my grandson, a couple dogs. You know, so, just doing the Malabar life, man, like everybody does, man. And a lot of people moved out here over the years, it's my turn.
Yep.
Now we got water, everything's ready, man, power, it's all, I don't know if any of y'all hear about it and check it out, but I'm gonna come by and hang out. Well, thank you. Yeah, we've been trying a long time, and like I said, I bought the property in 06, so it's just took time, man, you know what I'm saying? It just takes time to do this, but we're getting it. Yeah, I appreciate y'all giving us the opportunity. So,
Does the council have any questions for the applicant?
Yeah, what you got?
All
The
right, thank
package
you.
pretty much explained it.
Thank you.
But I mean, here, we're good? We're good to go? I mean, because we.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna make a motion.
Oh, okay. No, I'm making sure you got all the questions.
It ain't done until there's a vote.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. All right, I'll entertain a motion for the approval.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Any further discussion?
Yeah, I mean, I looked over the package, everything seems to be according to what, the way we do that, so no objections.
And we've had a few do this already. The only thing that's the question is the 6 months, and they're allowed an extension on the 6 months. So I just want to make sure there's only one extension, so they have to be done within a year, right?
I'm not living in a camper more than
No,
6
you can't.
months. Okay, just so you know.
We made it a couple months.
Okay. My mom lives really close by. He may be on his own.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried 4-0. You're good to go.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Carl.
I'm sorry, I just, they were talking to me, I'm sorry.
Good night.
I don't think he'll Sharon.
Alright. Again, we have no public cards, so I'll move on to reports, district report. Brian?
Nothing.
Steve?
Okay, yeah, one issue I wanted to bring up is the fact that we've got a lot of drainage issues in town that are due to collapsed culverts. And I think part of what we need to discuss on Tuesday is how do we deal with that? I mean, I don't think the town has the resources to fix all of those. And I don't want to be unfriendly to our residents either, but, something has to be done for a lot of these, especially in some areas where it's, creating backups or affecting more than one or two people. So I'd like to discuss that at the workshop on Tuesday, is how we can address that problem.
I think Doug had a map and they went around and took readings, and I think it should all be documented on the troubled areas, if you could bring that.
Okay, yeah, that's all.
So we have all these identified?
No.
Except the ones that have collapsed since that list was
Yeah,
filed.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if they made it to the
It's
whole
not a
town.
full list, but it's, I think what really should happen is the major ones, the ones that, get the water
That are
out of
affecting most
town.
people, yeah.
Yeah, and then work on the lanes, but,
We made it through probably better than half of the SOMs, the South Malvers. Because I helped Doug out with that as before I was on council. And we drive along, look at the culverts and know everything. We probably made it through a little bit better than half. And we found over 100 of them.
Yeah, there's a bunch.
Yeah.
thank you, Steve. Grant?
Well, I think Matt and I, next Thursday, we're gonna get together. I've got some ideas that could improve the drainage. So we'll take a look at it and then bring that up at the meeting, the same thing. We've got down by the fire station where we go through that Eels property. That's a crying shame because that's a great place to get water out. And then on Marie Street down here, we need to think about there because there's another way that Eels property floods our land on a really heavy, a 3-inch and 24-hour rain. It's all running across the street into Malabar. And it shouldn't be. It should be taken out through there. And I've heard their contention is that they're all permeable, so it can't be their problem. Well, when you get a heavy rain event, yes it is. So I'd like to look at that with Matt, and then that's something that I want to bring up at this meeting that we're going to have, the workshop.
Danny?
I have nothing.
The only thing I do have is the Christmas tree lighting that you mentioned. And also, there's a new Patrick Air Force Base wing commander for the 45th space. And the previous guy was a great spokesman for the Air Force. And the guy that they got now, Brigadier General Sheets, he used to be the vice commander 6 years ago, and he got relocated back. So he's another good person that we'll support.
Is he coming up at one of the meetings?
He comes to the Space Coast League city meetings, and he just did a presentation just
That's
at
what
the
I was
last
asking.
meeting.
I knew he was going
At
to.
the last meeting, and also the Civ Mill meeting, he comes to that. So that's all I have. All right, without objection, meeting adjourned.
Wow.
Another record.
Wow.
18 minutes. I've never seen one like that.
Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.
That's just one word.
Everybody's saying that workshop's on Tuesday, is that what
Tuesday.
Thank you, man. That's awesome. I'll do 2 hours.
What's that?
Put it on the pickup.
Try to-